Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our live stream. Lovely to see all of you. Hello to everyone who is watching this live and to the people who are watching this on catch up. I realized recently that catch up is not a universal phrase. Who knew? Here in the UK, if you're watching a TV show a week later, you're normally watching it on catch up. But I've had a lot of comments of people thinking I'm saying ketchup, but I'm not. Catch up. So hello to everybody. We're going to do a general cruise Q&A today. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. If you can start the questions with the word question, makes it easier for me to see them and just increases the chances that I'll be able to pick it out. I'm going to do my best to answer as many as I can. So yeah, we're here for an hour. Anything you want to ask, cruise lines, cruise destinations, anything about being on YouTube, please let me know. So I am very excited today to finally have an answer to the question that I get asked most in every single live stream, and it is a different answer to the one that I normally give. By far, the most asked question I've ever had is, are you going to Alaska? And I have had to say before, no plans, and I can say yes. In 2024, I'm going to Alaska. It is happening. It is booked. It is really happening. It really, really is happening. Yes, thank you so much. Adam says, congrats on Alaska. Thank you. It is all because of you, because if you rewind way back last year, I did a trip with Norwegian. Norwegian basically hired me to create content for their YouTube channel. As someone who I've cruised with Norwegian more than any other cruise line, I took my first cruise with Norwegian. Dream come true. Absolutely the most perfect fit. Obviously, I'm a bit nervous when I did that about creating content for somewhere else. You know, I have control over my own channel, but I don't really know what's going to happen when I put it somewhere else. But thankfully, the content did very well on their page. I did the normal kind of story video that I do on my channel, and that did well too. And Norwegian were very happy with it, and they want this time to show people Alaska, and I'm very happy to do that. So yes, if you watch that content, if you left comments, there were so many lovely comments on it. I could not believe it. Then it's because of you. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Hello to the cruise boys who are in the chat. Hello to, I think my parents are in here. Hello, Jackie. Hello, Pete. Hello, Scott. It is so nice to see you. Let's begin with a question. We've got so many already. The first one is, what are your opinion on repositioning cruises? Have you taken one? So a repositioning cruise is just a cruise that starts and ends in a different place. That's it. There's all the repositioning cruises. I have done some. I think they're great. If I'm going to be flying anyway, it doesn't matter to me really if I fly into a different airport that I fly back from, and it can be so much cheaper. I've done them before, you know, in Europe. I've done short ones. My alarm is going off. Please stop. And they're brilliant. So yeah, I think they're fantastic. I've never done a long distance one. I've never done a transatlantic. I've never done trans-Pacific, but I've done ones that just start and end in different places. And they're just less desirable because they're a bit more complicated. If you're someone who's going to park your car, for example, and get on in one port, you want to really come back to that port. But if you're flying, it doesn't really matter. Kyle says, we want Hudson. Hope Hudson makes an appearance here. But he was half out the cat flap when I said Hudson, so he's gone. He's gone out. He's gone out for the evening. Has Hudson been wearing his Christmas jumper? He has, probably not for his own choice. Cruise Boys had a Christmas jumper, Christmas sweater if you're from the US for their dog, and I put it on Hudson. It's a bit small for Hudson, the dog jumper actually, but he tolerated it for quite a long time, so I think he did pretty good. Didn't scratch me, didn't bite me. I think that's pretty good going. Bella says, do you prefer port intensive or more sea days? I've always gone towards port intensive because if I'm in a port, I can always not do that much in the port or not get off in the port. You know, you have more options. I like the sea days that aren't really sea days. They're sea days where everyone else gets off and I don't. That's kind of my ideal day. Whereas when you're at sea and there's not really any options. I don't mind sea days. I am someone who does get seasick, so I don't normally book a cruise that has more than, 2 sea days in a row. That's probably the most I would choose. But I will take any. A sea day or a port day is better than a not cruise day. That is for sure. Emma says, need to see this jumper. I put the picture in our Facebook group. If you're not in there, just search Emma Cruises on Facebook and you can see the picture of Hudson looking. His tongue is stuck out in the picture. He's like, which is quite cute. Yeah, on my Instagram. Yeah, for sure. Will you ever do a world cruise, says Lucas? It's not something I'm looking at now, for sure. Will I ever? I don't know. Maybe. Probably decades away, though, if I probably would do a world cruise. Do you like MSC's food, and why does it get looked down on? It's all about that food. I think it gets a bad rap, but I think a lot of the information is out of date about MSC's food. So my first MSC cruise was 2012, and I think they did have some problems with sort of food being a bit colder than some people would like it. It wasn't terrible, it wasn't that bad, but I think compared to other cruise lines, it wasn't great. But now, I think it was absolutely comparable, the MSC World Europa buffet and the Royal Caribbean buffet. Absolutely the same. Um, yeah, absolutely the same. It's different food. That's the thing. If you're going on there and you're expecting American food, or you're going on there and you're British and you're like, where are the shepherd's pie? You're not going to find that. It's an Italian cruise line. It's Mediterranean food, and you need to eat what they do well, which is pasta and cheese and pizza and a lot of seafood. I'm not really interested in the seafood part. Um, but yes, for me, the only sort of downside to the MSC main dining room food is it is exactly the same. I've done 6 MSC cruises, and I think I've eaten the same dishes like 6 times every single time. Um, but yeah, there were a lot of places to eat on World Europa, a lot. So if you Google, I think MSC food, Emma Cruises, you'll see all the food that I ate, all the menus, everything like that. Besides cruises, what other types of vacations do you take? I don't think I have taken any other type of vacation in 6 years, maybe. But pre this, I used to do some, cheap city breaks. I'd go to Prague or Budapest. I love ones like that. I've done American road trips, which are good fun. But now, live and breathe cruising at the moment. And if I do something else, I don't know. I don't think I'm cut out for an all-inclusive resort or a half-board holiday anymore. I think I'd find it boring. Thank you to Bella, who says everyone gives a thumbs up and hit the like button and subscribe too. Yes, I think we're somewhere near 300,000 subscribers now. So if you can check that you're subscribed, a lot of people comment and say I didn't know I wasn't subscribed. It's free. Just press the button, and it's just nice. That is it. It just seems nice. What are gratuities? Do I need to pay them? Are they like tips in the restaurants? Yes. So basically, it's the cruise line saying, instead of you having to tip waiters and tip bartenders, we're just going to add on an amount that is the tips every day to your onboard account. It's per person per night. It's normally, $15, something like that. Some British cruise lines are £5, so there is a range there. And the idea is, if you just tick that box, leave it alone, you don't have to carry cash around. You don't have to worry about tipping your room steward or anything like that. I always recommend just leave the auto gratuities on. Personally, in the UK, we don't tip in the same way as people in the US do. I would prefer just the cruise line work out how to pay their staff rather than me do it through gratuities. But that's not how it is. We're not living in that world. We're living in a world where a lot of the money that the crew get are through the gratuities. So if you do take off the auto gratuities, you're not hurting the cruise line, which I think people think, oh, well, Norwegian's annoying, I'll take off the gratuities. You're not hurting them. You're hurting the crew. And it's the people who are in the laundry room folding up every day. Yeah, they do. They deserve their money. They do. Just see it as part of the cruise fare. That's it. Any update on Hudson V3 shipping? I think about half of them have been shipped now. The rest of them will be coming out any day soon. So keep an eye on your emails. The company is called Juniper Creates. They're a Canadian company, and they'll be the one that has your tracking link on it. We're at 291,000. Amazing. If you're watching this in the future, hopefully we have more, not less. Any day now for Captain Hudson. There's 1,600 of them, so I can't imagine someone's going to go to the post office with 1,600 Hudsons. So they're coming out in batches. Love your shirt. Thank you very much. This is a new design, and it says, if found, please return to the nearest cruise ship. Has a cruise ship on it. And I'm actually really liking the white t-shirt. I'm not normally a white t-shirt person, but it is not in any way see-through, which is important, and it's very comfy. So yeah, this is my new design. Good news for anyone who is in the UK, we have approved a UK factory now. Previously, they were coming from Florida. But now if you order from the UK, they come from the UK. If you order from America, they'll come from Florida. And this took 4 days from ordering, printing, and delivery, which I think is pretty good, 4 days. So happy with that. Happy with that. I think I have answered the thing about Hudson now. Yeah, if you can keep your questions shorter, it just increases the chance I'll be able to put them on the screen, because I don't really want to pause and read. What cruise ship did you model your t-shirt on? I think it's, I don't know, like have a closer look. I don't, it's a small one, right? Maybe like an Azamara, something like. Do you know how the sewage system works on cruises? I do. I find it fascinating. I know not everyone does, but it's very clever. Very, very clever. They have a big sewage treatment plant on board. You flush the toilet, everything goes down there. It goes through a couple of filtration systems. They have an aeration chamber. They use all kinds of clever bacteria and stuff to nibble on the waste. And then it is apparently at the end clean enough to drink, apparently. And the stuff that's clean is released into the sea. I wouldn't like to drink it, but technically, do P&O provide water in the main dining rooms and buffet? Yes, they do. The only cruise line that I know of that doesn't provide free water is Costa and sometimes MSC, depending on where you're from. If you're from the UK or the US, the water's always free on MSC, but Costa doesn't. No one gets free tap water. Tap water is not a concept. You don't get tap water. Thank you, Kevin, for sharing the link to my sewage information. I do have a lot of random stuff on my website. I think over 1,000 posts we've put on there. I think I have 490 YouTube videos now, which is cool. Abraham says it's near drinking water quality. That doesn't sound good to me. Yeah. Use a travel agent or book everything myself online. You can do either. People like to do either. Personally, I always use a travel agent because it never costs more. Well, it shouldn't ever cost more. If it does cost more, something's gone wrong. It's the same price as booking online. And then if I need, say I need my dining time changed, say I want to find a cabin that I can't find, someone else sorts it out for me. So why would I not want free help? So I found an agent that I like that I've been using for the last 4 years, maybe. I book all my cruises through her. So does my mum. So does loads of you in the chat, and we work together now. So if you are in the UK, if you're in the US, if you're in Canada, really, if you're from anywhere, we can help or we'll put you in the right direction. Go to emmacruises.com, click on book a cruise. Or if you want to book direct, like that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It just means you don't have any free help. And quite often we have, if I do a cruise, like when I did my Celebrity Edge cruise, Celebrity said to me, Emma, you can offer, I think it was $200 on board credit, something like that, extra on top of everything you'd get booking direct if you mentioned Emma Cruises. So you might as well have free stuff, is the way I see it. But it's up to you. It's totally up to you. Yeah, Dale says, use Emma Otter, love her. Yeah, Emma Otter is my UK agent. We first started working together in 2020, which was a lot of cancelling, rebooking cruises. And it's so nice to just be able to just hear the nice things, when people come back. So good. Have you considered a Hawaiian island cruise? I took one when I was 11 years old. Hawaii is actually very far away from England. I'm sure you know that. But in my head, it's not as far away as it actually is. It is so far away. So far away. Is overselling on cruises an issue, or have cruise lines, especially Royal Caribbean, sorted this out? Have you ever experienced it? So cruise lines don't oversell in the same way that airlines do. I'm pretty sure airlines assume that someone is going to cancel on every flight, don't they? And then if not, they're trying to pay people off so they can get the seats on the plane. It's not like that on cruises. And every time I've seen, there's been a couple with Royal Caribbean lately, but they've always blamed it on a technical problem or something went wrong. It's not their normal standard practice to overbook cruises, as far as I know, because normally your cabins are assigned anyway. So they wouldn't assign two people the same room unless something's gone wrong, if this happens. Oh, Cruise Boys say, have to correct you. Costa do now offer water with meals in the buffet and main dining rooms. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. That's one reason why I normally suggest if you're taking a Costa cruise, it's best to book a drinks package because, if I don't have a drinks package, I'll drink a lot of water with meals, but if it's not included, yeah. What cruise liner would you choose for your first adventure to cruising? So there is a different answer to this question for every single person who could ask it. So it's tricky to know. I took my first cruise when I was 11. If you're not sure where to start at all with cruising, I have a guide that compares all the mainstream cruise lines. Just go to emmacruises.com, put in your email address, and I will send you that one because there's 1,000 wrong answers for every right answer. If I just said, Dawn, the perfect one is Queen Mary 2. Maybe terrible, maybe fantastic. I hope you like my tiny little Christmas tree. This is from Emma that we were just talking about. You can see I've got a little Christmas hat on Hudson's other ear there. Have you taken any ferries or cruise ferries? I did take one on Celia Symphony, which was amazing. So this was the ferry that sort of Royal Caribbean based their Central Street on before they had the Central Street. It was really cool, really really cool. Mm. I can't find the membership button on mobile. I don't know where it is, I'm afraid. Um, so if someone else knows, maybe they can let you know. I use a third party, so I can't see YouTube. I can't see it. Um, yeah. Michael says, your US agency, please. If you click on book a cruise on emmacruises.com, if you're from the US, click the big US button. It'll go through to my US team and me. Yes, yes, yes. Missing my crown this week. Yeah, last week I had a tiara that I got from the YouTube Christmas party. I've lost it already. I don't know where it is. I'll find it at some point. What are you drinking today? Squash. I have squash somewhere. Where is my squash? It's on the floor. And I have peppermint tea, of course. Always peppermint tea. David says, what is going on with Ambassador? I don't know. Doing their thing. So Ambassador's a relatively new British cruise line. Basically a replacement for CMV. They won't tell you that, but it is pretty much the same. And I don't know what's going on with them. I tried to cruise with them last year. My cruise was cancelled after 4 days. I've had friends, cruise on Ambassador since and had a good time. So not sure. The crown should be a staple, apparently. Yeah, we should try something different every single time. mm. Hudson's stolen your tiara and run out the cat flap. Perhaps he has. Perhaps he has. He got some Christmas presents. Of course he did. He got some Christmas presents, and one of them was like it was basically a ball of tinfoil with catnip in it, and he absolutely loved it. And he would just, I don't know, he got all of his exercise that he needs for the year in a couple of days with that, but now it's gone. Oh yeah, Lucas says 4 days. Sorry, if I said 4 days, I meant 4 hours. Yes, 4 hours. We were at dinner when that cruise was cancelled. Oh, peppermint and licorice tea is the best. No, licorice is disgusting. Don't put licorice in anything for me, thanks. Charlotte says, is Britannia still good considering it's a bit older? Depends what you mean by a bit good. I know a lot of people who love P&O cruises, traditional, smaller ships, really don't like the new ones because they're so different. So it just depends what you like. I spent a week on Britannia. If you go way back on my channel, way back, you'll find some videos from that. Very different style of videos, but you can check those out if you want to. But it just depends what you like. It's not the same as a cruise on Iona. It's not the same as a cruise on Arvia, the new ships. But also it's not the same as Ventura, the older ships. Depends what you like. Good for some, not good for everyone. Dan, hello Dan, it is nice to see you. Dan says, are you Pepsi Max stocked up for Xmas? I'm Pepsi Max stocked up for just every day. So yes, I am. I haven't done a bulk order or anything like that. Yeah, Dale says preferred Iona to Britannia. Yeah, I personally prefer Iona and Arvia to Britannia, but just what you like. Just what you like. I have, for MSC, I've been on Opera, Preziosa, Meraviglia, Virtuosa, Seaview, and World Europa now. Yes. Jason says, the join button doesn't appear on iOS mobile because YouTube, you have to pay a cut to Apple. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, Cilia line is Talink. Yeah. I didn't do any meals. You can pay for meal packages if you want to, but when you're on a ferry, I just went to Lidl in Finland. Yeah, I went to Lidl in Finland, I think, and I just got snacks and just bought them back on. Why not? It's a ferry. Stephen says, is Scrooge your favorite Christmas movie? If not, which one? It is absolutely Elf. Elf is the best Christmas movie. The Grinch, the old one, is one of my favorites. I like Home Alone. I've had a song from the Muppets Christmas Carol in my head all day today, but Elf is the best. There's no question. No question. Have you tried another TUI River cruise? Did it improve? I haven't, but I will be very soon. And I was having a conversation about this earlier because when I took my TUI River cruise, it was great. Like I had a great time, but it was the first sailing ever or something, or the first of the season on a new ship. And you could just tell that they weren't really sort of settled into where things go. Like they would have to walk a long way to get me a Coke or a Pepsi. And then by the end of the cruise, they would bring it closer because they knew what was going on. So I'm interested to see, how is it sort of settled in, because it was a nice ship. I think it's a really good entry to river cruising, it's half the price of the other river cruise lines. Um, and if you go on one, you'll know if you hate or love river cruising. And then if you want to spend double the price, you can spend it on another one. Oh, t-shirt discount code return to the ship is not valid. Return to the ship. It might just be return to ship, I think. Return to ship, this one. If I said the wrong one, then I'm sorry. It should be not just on t-shirts. It should be on the sweaters, the hoodies, the kids ones, the toddlers ones. We have magnets, we have stickers. You can put it on anything. It doesn't matter. Are you doing a Christmas or New Year's cruise this year? I am not. I have cruised for Christmas before. I've never cruised at New Year, but I don't have either booked to this time. I don't really have a lot of plans for Christmas this year. I just want to chill out. Just want to chill. Would you recommend staying towards the center of a ship for a first-time cruiser who is unsure if seasickness might be an issue? Yes. If it's something you're worried about, if it's high up on your priority list, stay in the middle, stay further down. You're going to feel less movement there. If you're someone like me and normally the price is more important on your list above seasickness, then you can stay anywhere. That's what I do. You know, I say I'm someone who does get seasick sometimes if it's a storm or something. And my advice is middle and down, but I don't take that advice because to me, saving the money on not picking my location is normally more important. And also, it's not fun really to make a YouTube video that says, I booked a specific room and I got what I booked. Like, that's boring. I don't want to do that. I want the mystery. I think it's fun. Steven says, Elf and Home Alone are Americanized. I mean, they're in America. So I don't know what. We watch a lot of American movies, a lot of American TV in the UK. Yeah, return to the ship. Yeah, sorry if I said the wrong one. Return to the ship. Yes, that's the plan. Oh, just bought a Mini. What is your favorite UK automobile? I have no interest in cars in the slightest. Nothing. I have nothing to offer this question. I am sorry, but thank you very much for being a member for 11 months. If you want to ask again, we do a weekly podcast. I will think about it. I would say I'll answer better in the podcast, but off the top of my head, I have no idea, not a clue. What is your best seasickness medication? At the moment, I'm using Quells. I've used different ones, but Quells seems to be working, so I stick with that one. How much downtime do you find you need from cruising? I mean, I work while I'm at sea, but I can't do all of my work. I can't do everything. I can't completely run my business from cruise ships. So I need to get home and have, you know, a couple of weeks to at least get everything done because it just piles up when I'm away and I run my own business. So everything goes wrong as soon as you leave it alone. And I need to get my clothes washed. But now I have a dryer for the first time and it's absolutely fabulous. I love it. I love it. It is here in the office with me. That's why I was pointing at it. We don't really have laundry rooms much here in the UK. My washing machine's in the kitchen because that's how it normally is in England. And I have a dryer in my office and I love it. It is fantastic. Oh, mince pies, nay. Absolutely nay. Ugh. Gross. Apple pie would be much better. I don't like eggnog, no. Holiday drink and food, for me, it's just going to be eating, you know, chocolate oranges, After Eights, Pringles. That's what I think of for Christmas. Have you considered doing a cruise that leaves Southern California? Not till I just got this. Is the dryer ventless? I mean, I don't really know what that means. It's not I don't know. It's a condenser dryer. Does that help? I just empty it out into the garden. Yes, chocolate orange. Yes, yum yum yum. What are mince pies? They're not mince like mince meat. They're mince like minced vegetables. Not vegetables, fruit. What type of fruit it is, I don't know, but I don't like it. Just let people argue about mince pies. Ugh, gross. No plans to go on Icon of the Seas. No. I think Icon of the Seas. I think this question is just going to overtake my one about Alaska now that I have answered that one. So yes. Emma's holiday meal pizza with ketchup. I don't know. I've had an awful lot of roast dinners already this year though, so not too worried about that. Does the dryer have a pipe out the window? No, it does not have a pipe out the window. No, it does not. It does not need that. What are your favorite cookies? Just chocolate chip cookies. Don't ruin them with raisins or nuts or anything. Just chocolate chip cookies. Hard to go wrong with that. Mm. Yeah, that's it. Raisins and sultanas. I don't know. Um, I'm someone that really likes rough seas. Would you recommend a Northern Lights tour? Yes, if you can do it in winter, if you can do it on an old cruise ship, you're probably going to have some rough seas because it's the Arctic Circle. Adam says, can't wait to see all the Alaska content. Also, what is one of the most favorite excursions you have been on? Thank you very much, Adam, for the question. Um, Probably some of the ones I did in Japan would be my favorite. I've also done some interesting ones in Europe. I've done uh, cycling tours in the rain and stuff like that, which have been good fun. I'm not normally a massive fan of cruise line excursions because I don't really like the follow the flag, you're in a group of 30 kind of thing. But when I'm somewhere really far away, if I'm in Japan, I kind of I think that's quite nice to be a little bit looked after. Um, Interesting questions. Thank you so much to the moderators who look after these live streams. If it wasn't for you, I would not be doing them at all. Um, yes. Your ketchup with pizza, is it ketchup all over the pizza or a dip as the side? It is a dip, but it is every piece has a dip. Yeah. I wouldn't try and pour it on and then lift it up because it would be really heavy and it would all slip off. But it would be fine, I guess. Tiff says, how did you get started on doing these reviews? How did you start to make money off this? I'm super interested to how you got started. So I'll give you a brief one because I can talk about this for a very long time. So I have been cruising since I was 11. I knew that cruising was fun. Me and my family did one every 2 or 3 years. We normally did a cruise. So I did a couple when I was a teenager. And then we took a cruise with Cunard and I sat there and I was like, what on earth is this? This is so different. Before I'd only cruised with Norwegian and MSC, which are very casual cruise lines. And then all of a sudden, I'm on the cruise line with the most strict dress codes. And I was just like, what on earth is this? Someone should have told me what this was. So I started a website in 2016, just writing things like 7 things you should know before a Cunard cruise. I started a YouTube channel in 2018, and that was mostly at the beginning. It was, here's a nice sail-in. Here is a view from the lift. Things that I just couldn't write. I sort of put them on YouTube. That's how I started. I was just doing this in my spare time in up until 2021, so about 5 years of evenings, weekends, every spare second I have, I made videos and I wrote about cruises on the internet because I love it. And then obviously the pandemic kind of got in the way. I came to work from home from my day job and I spent a year just doing everything I could so that I didn't have to go back to that job. I worked in insurance. I did 6 years there, and I really wanted to swap the insurance industry for the cruise industry. As far as money, if you go to emmacruises.com, type in income, I have all of my income streams listed. YouTube is quite simple. There's adverts before the YouTube videos. The more views you get, the more people see the adverts, the more money you get. It took many, many years to get to a point where I could leave my day job, but I have not regretted it for a single second, that's for sure. The only thing I miss really is having colleagues and having a bit of a structure, because people say when you leave 9 to 5, you leave 9 to 5 to work 24/7. And it's kind of like that. And yet now I'm the reason that the Cruise Boys exist and random people channels exist, because I introduced Cruise Boys to cruising and they saw what I was doing and they did the same thing. But yeah, thank you, Kevin, for the link, and thank you, my mum, to the link. Yeah, I understand how weird this is. I've always done a 9 to 5 office job before this, so I understand why it is weird. But I have many different things going along. For example, one thing's these T-shirts. That's part of my business, and I try and do a discount code every live stream, just for you guys who are watching the live stream. So these discounts that show up, these are always for 24 hours only. This one is my one of the day. This is, if found, please return to the nearest cruise ship. Cute little cruise ship there, and they're just really nice T-shirts. I have so many of these. This is what I'm wearing every single day. If ever you see a picture of me and I have a coat on, I have a jumper on, this is what I have underneath. So yeah, if you want to support me, you can buy the T-shirts. You can join me on Patreon. You can watch my videos. You can leave comments. I mean, by watching this, you're already doing that. Do you cruise more often now that cruising is part of your job? Absolutely. Absolutely, of course. Before I had to stick to my annual leave, I had 4.5 weeks about, which is pretty standard for the UK. But even still, I cruise more than that now, for sure. Yeah, so cruise boys would be something else without you. Train boys. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, you've got 291,000 colleagues. Well, I suppose so, but I can't just go to the pub on lunch and talk about stuff. There's not really many people I can sort of talk about my business with because there's not many people that do it, and it's quite hard to reach other people. So, um, yeah. Oh, first time catching your stream. Been watching you for years. Thank you very much. Um, what is your least favorite British Christmas food? I mean, I don't like the Christmas pudding at all, and mince pies, and yeah. Dave said, "How real are these year-end cruise discounts filling my email? Some look like actual one-time offers. I mean, they're real. It doesn't mean that that is, you know, I mean, they're real, but they're as real as anything, any sale. um, I did book a really, really, really good deal for an expensive river cruise next summer, in a Christmas sale. So you know, it is worth sometimes looking out for them. But yeah. Just don't assume that it is a deal just because they're saying it's a deal. You might find that it was the same price 2 months ago. I don't know what the question is, but my mum says she's all about the statistics and data, so I would say yes. Um, some interesting questions in here. Thanks so much. What is in your mug? Peppermint tea. I do use travel credit cards. Yeah, it's not something I really talk about on this channel, but yeah. Have you been on Independence of the Seas? I have. Yes, a long time ago, and it was half term, which means it was the school holidays here in the UK, and it was pretty busy. It was my favorite Royal Caribbean cruise. I much preferred the ones I've done recently out of school holidays. But that was in Northern Europe. You know, it was in October, so it was kind of cold, but it was good enough. Like it was fun. Do you still like maths? I mean, I don't do maths for fun. I did maths really at university because I didn't think I could do anything else, and it went all right. Um, Oh, Captain Hudson version 2 has an honored place on my TV stand. Thank you. I've got all the boys here, the brothers here. Um yes. About half of the Hudsons have shipped. Yeah, the rest will be out any day soon, any day soon. Um I can't think about specific meals or specific food, but I think the cruise line that surprised me in terms of food the most, definitely Azamara. I never heard anything particularly good about Azamara's food, just it's a premium cruise line, but that's the best food for sure, for sure. Where are you from in England? I'm from the south, down on the south coast. The south, the south. Statement: Math is fun. Maths in the UK, but not for fun. No, definitely not. Kate says, "What insurance company do you recommend and use?" So I have cover for you. It's not the fastest; it's pretty slow, but it pays out higher. So I'm willing to wait for my money normally. I have loads of recommendations. I have a step-by-step guide for travel insurance. If you go to emmacruises.com, click on Get Travel Insurance. It's a big button at the top. That is every screenshot of what I think you need to look for. What you need to do if you have this, pre-existing medical condition. What it means. There's a lot of words on there. So please check that out. That took me like 4 hours to put together, and hopefully it is helpful. How will advancements in technology such as artificial intelligence reshape the cruise experience for passengers in coming years? I think the cruise lines will probably catch up with some things that are already on land. I don't know about in different places, but I'm very used to. For example, I went out to lunch today. I ordered on an app, and I'm waiting for a cruise line where I can order on an app. We can see menus on apps, but I want to order on the app. So I think we've got a bit of catching up to do. Thank you, Jackie. It's so nice to see. There's so many people who I see in these lives who have been to these live streams for, I don't know, 5 years maybe. So people know the answers and they can answer them when I can't answer them, which is so nice. So thank you so much. Jackie's answering a question about have I taken Hudson on a cruise? And no, I would never take my cat Hudson on a cruise. It is heartbreaking enough to take him to the vets, which is maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes away. It is awful. The thought of taking him to a cruise port, it would be torture for him. He would hate it. There's no way I'm doing it. Never. Don't cruise without insurance. Yes, please don't. Don't tell me. Don't tell me if you do. Yeah. Stephen says, tea versus coffee, which is favorite in the UK? Absolutely tea. Absolutely. I have never had a cup of coffee, a whole cup of coffee in my life. I've tried coffee many times. Don't like it. Yeah, Cruise Boys say you order with Princess on the app when it works. I have ordered cookies to myself. Um, yeah, I suppose so. Mm. Bob says, did you require a visa for Vietnam via the ship or pre-cruise? We did not need any visas for the Asia cruise that I took, being from the UK. We didn't need them for, Hong Kong, Japan, Singapore, or Vietnam. We didn't need any. There's plenty of landing cards and immigration forms that you need to do. But when we got on the cruise, they gave us this A4 sheet that said, day one, fill in this form. Day two, bring this form to this place. Day three, we'll give you back your passport and you'll do this form. So we just had to follow that. But there was nothing that we had to do pre-cruise for that. That's from the UK, though. If you're listening from somewhere else, you do need to check if you need visas. Yeah, Rich says the irony, you couldn't wait to leave the insurance industry, but now advocate for getting cruise insurance. Yeah. I didn't work in cruise insurance. I worked in car insurance, which is different because car insurance, you have to have car insurance. So it's just different. It is different. I've never tried Cuban coffee because I've never tried coffee really. So yeah, everyone says to me, "Oh, you can like coffee if you put in tons of cream and sugar and stuff." Why? Why would I bother? Why not just have something that's nice to begin with? I've seen mixed reviews about Princess. From your experience, where would you place them? So I've done quite a few Princess cruises. I took a Princess cruise in Asia. I took a Princess cruise around. I've taken a couple of Princess cruises around Britain, and I think they're very. It's hard to explain them because they're very middly, but in a good way. Like it feels very comfortable and very homey, and the food is always consistently good. It's not going to be go karts and water slides and all that stuff, but also it's not boring. It's very middle, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's pretty chill. Oh my goodness, Dan says Princess charge for cookies on the app $4.99. Yeah, I haven't done a Princess cruise since they've changed the Princess Plus. I always book the cheapest Princess package, always, and now there's a lot of things that aren't included in that. So maybe that would change. But I still think they're a pretty good cruise line. Like if I had to go on a cruise, not had the chance to go on a cruise for a long time, I think it feels most like home on a Princess cruise. It just feels very comfortable. It's very nice. Um, very nice. Yeah, nice is the word. So I'd probably pick Princess. Yeah, Princess of the American P&O. Yeah, kind of the same. Kind of. I think Princess is more expensive than P&O for sure. But yeah. Yeah, the norm in the UK is instant coffee, which is not good coffee. Yeah. Yeah. No, I just don't get coffee. I just don't get why I would try to make something that doesn't taste nice to me taste nice when I could just drink something that already tastes nice. It's not like it's particularly good for you. So peppermint tea surely is better for me, right? So I'll stick with that, I think. Going on Morella cruise in 3 weeks. Have heard it's like Butlins at sea. I'm worried. What are your thoughts? So I've never been to Butlins. I don't think. But it's thrown around like an insult all the time. And I think what people normally mean when they say Butlins at sea is it's like very British and it's just all British people. And that's fine. I've cruised with Morella quite a lot of times. It is very British. If you go to trivia, you're going to know the answers because they're going to be about Coronation Street and stuff. Whereas if I go on an American cruise line, I have no idea who the whatever number president is. I don't know. And the music is very British. The food is very British. It's nothing gourmet, but it's nice. It is stuff that I like. It's stuff that I recognize. So yeah, I really like Morella Cruises. I like their ships too. I think they're a really good size. They got most of their ships from Celebrity, from Royal Caribbean. They refurbished them really well. So yeah, do not be nervous about Morella Cruise. Like it is good fun. If you look at my videos, I've done, just week cruises with Morella. I've done some themed cruises with Morella, which were fun. Yeah. Edward says Pepsi doesn't taste nice. It tastes like wood and vanilla. Fabulous. That means you won't take any of my Pepsi and I will have some more. Thanks. Oh, I think I heard Hudson then. Hudson. Imagine if it's not Hudson. Imagine if it's just a fox or a badger or something. Just gonna come in for the dreamies. They can't get in through that cafe app. Actually, it's the microchip one, so only Hudson can come in there. Favorite Morella ship? I think it will probably be Either Discovery or Discovery 2, which are the Royal Caribbean ones. They're just nice. They're just really nice. You have Dunkin' there. Yeah, we have Dunkin'. I prefer the donuts. Um, I could you post the link to the I don't know what this is, to the NC review you suggested is on NCL's site. I don't know what that means. If you could, if someone else knows, then please let me know because I'm sorry, I'm just confused. I'm just confused. Um, I do my best to answer as many questions as I can, of course, but this does go very, very fast. So please feel free to ask your question a couple of times. If you've asked it multiple times and I've not answered it, it may be that I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to everything. I would never claim to. The thing about a live stream is I can't. Normally, I do a podcast every week for my Patreons and my channel members. And if they ask me something I don't know, but I know that someone else will know, I can find out. I can message my friend Chris in Australia and be like, in Australia, what is this? And he can tell me. But these live streams, if it's not in my mind, then I don't know. Um, Emma, you need a pop up tree assembles in 20 seconds. That would be cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lisa says, what do you think about TUI bringing out a new river ship in Portugal? Very nice. I would love, 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 love to do a river cruise in Portugal. I've not really done much of Portugal apart from going to Lisbon or not going to Lisbon on cruises. So I think that would be really nice. Really, really nice. Have you tried a cronuts? A croissant donut? No. Patrick says, any future collabs with Norwegian Cruise Line? So yes, we are going to Alaska, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited. So it will be the same sort of setup as I did on Prima. For Prima, Norwegian hired me to make videos for their channel, which is very cool. So then my normal videos, I made the thumbnail, I made the videos, I did the script, I did everything, but it's just on their channel. And then I had my normal content, the stories that you're used to on my page, my live stream, everything like that. And we're going to be doing the same thing. So I don't know yet what things they want me to make for them, but I know what I'm going to make for me, of course, because I've made the same sort of video for maybe 5 years. So I already know, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Not on Aqua though, but maybe we'll do Aqua later. That would be so cool to increase the chance, of course, of us being able to do more like this. Please. You left such nice comments. I can't even believe it on Norwegian's content. I tried to reply to everything. It's weird. It almost is nicer when you see someone being nice about you behind your back, and it's almost meaner when you see people being mean about you behind your back. Like I see that a lot. I'll come across like a comment on Facebook that's so mean, and it's not to me, so it's genuinely just what they think, which is harder. But yes, the more comments we can get and nice things, the more chance we have of doing that. So yeah, thank you so much. Jackie says, here's the link to Emma's Norwegian Cruise Prima stuff. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Tom says, have you considered going on a ship's maiden voyage? I would consider it for this channel. If I didn't have this channel, there's no reason I would book a maiden voyage. I would much prefer to book the second voyage, the third voyage. Why wouldn't I just wait until they've sort of got settled? If it was not for this channel. Obviously, for this channel, new ships are very exciting. Yes, 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 yes. Lisa says, can't believe people would say mean things about you. You're always so nice. Thank you. I try my best, but there is not a thing about my face, body, personality, accent, thoughts. There's not a thing I can eat or drink that some people will not like. So I think you just learn if you're on the internet. You might as well say what you actually think, because sometimes I say the most normal things. No, I get a Pepsi Max, and then there's all these comments telling me that that's terrible and I shouldn't do it. Or I eat this, or I don't eat this. Yeah, so might as well do whatever you think. I think you have to realize when you're on YouTube, and you learn very fast, but other people's opinions of you are literally none of your business. Like, you cannot concern yourself with that. They try and tell you that their opinions of you, of course, but you just have to block them, hide them, focus your energy on the good. There's no way, as I try so hard, but there's no way I can reply to every single comment. And I'd way prefer to use that energy, for someone who's written something nice rather than someone who's written something mean. Occasionally, it's human nature to want to answer something if someone said something that's wrong and they're trying to be like, I don't know what they would say, but sometimes you want to explain. And I'll write the comment and then be like, no, it's not worth it. Just delete it. Yeah. Yeah, fighting with a troll only invites trolls. Yeah, absolutely. All that they want is attention. And you have to sort of think, if someone's idea of fun is sitting at home and telling me something terrible on an evening, it sort of says more about them than me, really. So, yeah, I try. Block out the haters. Yes, absolutely. I think I've always had quite a strict, we've always had a Facebook group for many years, and we don't really give people second chances. If I see someone who's being saying really mean things to someone else in the group, I'm still going to kick them out because it's not nice. This is my corner of the internet. I don't have to let anyone in, and it keeps it nice. It keeps it nice for us. Um, Love the British word of the week in the videos. Thank you so much. It is just from the comments. It just comes from if I make a video and then I have people ask. Like this week's one was when I said that you may watch these live streams on catch up. And all the comments were like, what's ketchup? What? Catch up. And I said in my last video that you could click and collect a lifeboat. And that's a Britishism. Click and collect. I didn't know, but apparently it is. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for your lovely messages. There are far more lovely people on the internet than mean ones. Sorry if this has been asked. Not sorry at all. I don't expect you to know every single question that's been asked. I mean, I don't know every question that's been asked, and I've been here for every single live stream. But how do you find the extra cheap cruise deals? So I have been working with a travel agent for 4 or 5 years, so she knows me very, very well. And the last couple that I've booked have been where she sent me them and been like, Emma, this seems so like you. Like I'm doing a Uni World River cruise, which is very, very fancy. And they were doing like a half price sale for only certain sailings. And she saw that and thought, this is Emma, right? So she sent that one to me. If I'm doing, if I have time in my calendar, say I have March free and I want to find a cruise, I tend to go to the website Vacations to Go. I don't book through Vacations to Go. I just use them as sort of a search engine. There's not every cruise line on there, but what you can do is you can filter by month, you can filter by location, and you can sort by price per night. So you can see, oh, there is this MSC cruise that's going in Europe, or there is this Norwegian cruise there. Normally I take that, then I look at the cruise line's website, decide if is there something I want to do. The price is normally a lot more. Vacations to Go doesn't include taxes or fees or anything like that. And then I will take that and I will put that in my form on my website. I literally book through myself because I like to keep everything together. And then we'll either be able to match that price or we'll be able to do something extra normally. So quite often we just get links from big travel agents. They're like, I want this. And it's very, very, very rare we wouldn't be able to match it unless sometimes cruise lines will send in, not cruise lines, but travel agencies, the big ones will send an email and say, oh, this cabin's £100. And they only ever had one cabin at that price. But yeah. Stephen says, are you a Wonka new movie fan? I haven't seen it yet. I probably will go see it. I hear it's a musical. I quite like musicals, so probably I will. Tom says, does traveling get repetitive? It only gets repetitive as much as eating food gets repetitive and drinking drinks gets repetitive and going to sleep gets repetitive. I like all those things. So no, like to me, it's like saying, is eating food getting repetitive? I've eaten food my whole life, but there's many different foods, isn't there? It's not like I'm only eating toast, although I could eat just toast and I could be quite happy. Trying to take 8 people on a cruise this year. Oh my goodness. Need a TA. Yeah, please go to emmacruises.com. We can sort it out for you for sure. It'll never cost more than booking direct. Normally we have some onboard credit or something. And it's just the travel agent I use. It's all through an app. So you can just log in and be like, I'm going to pay £500 today. Bloop. I'm going to pay £200 today. You don't have to phone. I booked a cruise pre-working with my travel agent. I had to keep phoning up to pay on the phone. Ugh. Don't want to do that. Interesting. Our dog does try to go through the cat flap, but generally hits the flap as it only works for the cat. What? I don't know what that is about. Interesting. Emma says, what is your opinion on Queen Mary 2? So I did a short cruise on Queen Mary 2. We went from Southampton to Hamburg. I think it's my second most popular video still. It is the only remaining ocean liner. Very traditional, Cunards, very ballroom dancing, fancy dress codes, that kind of thing. It was a good cruise. You just have to know what it is. The whole reason I started my website was because I was unprepared for a Cunard cruise. But if you watch that video and you think that's good, then it's something you like. It's very very Marmite, we would say. You would love it or you would hate it. There's so many people who I know who would absolutely hate a cruise on Queen Mary 2, and there's so many people who would absolutely love it. But yeah, that's what a travel agent can sort of. Sometimes we get things and people have things that they want to do, and we're like, oh, yeah. Um, Oh, Lisa says, I know you did a video on the Tui River cruise, just disembark one and loved it. Thinking of booking the same one as you after watching yours. Interesting. Yes. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. I think Tui and Morella are the only cruise lines that really don't work with travel agents very well. So if say you fill in our form and it's actually cheaper to book through TUI, we will just say to you, just book if you can, just book through TUI. Because it's a weird company. I won't go into it here, but it's a bit bizarre. Yeah, phoning people is the millennial nightmare. It's just so unnecessary. Don't need to do it. Need a nice live chat. Andy says, who is the other cruise YouTuber who you would love to collaborate? So the person who I've met most cruise YouTubers now. We've been on some cruise together or we've met up for lunch or something. But I would really like to do a collaboration with Will from Trek Trendy. I don't know if you've seen his channel, but he does very luxurious cruises, very luxurious planes and trains. And the absolute opposite of the content that I make is what Will makes. He was on Wonder of the Seas. I did Symphony of the Seas. If you watch those two videos, we cross over like this much. If we were on the same cruise, we probably never would have seen each other because he was in the specialty restaurants. I never went to one. I was in the theater. I don't think he went to the theater. And it would just be so it'd be so different. I could be in the inside cabin. He could be in the two-story suite. And it would just be really cool. But we haven't crossed over yet just because, I'm on the cheap cruises. He's on the expensive cruises. Thanks, Jackie, for sharing the link to my Queen Mary 2 video. That is much, much appreciated. Some weird questions in there. How do you get to the cruise terminal? Hate taxis, worried about parking. Normally, either the train or drive and park. I wouldn't worry about parking. If you have port parking, it's so easy, so easy. Some of them they drive your car away, so you don't even have to do the parking bit. Also, you can park on people's driveways. Once you've paid them to park on their driveway, don't just randomly park on their driveway. There's a few websites you can do that. There's some sort of third-party car parks I've used. Trains, pretty easy. If the trains are working, then trains are all good. So, yeah, I'm not a massive fan of taxis either because I got a taxi recently to go to Heathrow and it was busy. And the taxi man just said, oh, it's not worth me going anymore, doing this for the money. I pre-booked it and he just left us there and called an Uber. Did not finish the journey. So that was not good. But then again, I was on a train recently and they decided, oh, we don't have a driver from here. So you can stay here and wait. We might get one, or you can take a chance on a random other train. So I chose the random train. It was fine. So yeah, it's much easier just to go on a cruise, I think. Rich says, how is there only 64 likes? I think we have 660 people watching. So if you can like this, it just shows YouTube that you're enjoying it and it will sort of follow you around. That's how YouTube works. It follows you around. David says, would you stay in the suites or would he slum it in the inside? I don't think either. I think we would be on the same cruise, but doing it in the complete opposite way. So I could show this is the cruise, and then this is what it's like if you pay 10 times as much. I think that would be awesome. If I'm in the US, can I still use your website to find a TA? Yes, I have a team in the US, and it has taught me so much, so much. I'm from the UK, of course. I only book my cruises from the UK, but there's so many different things about booking cruises when you're in the US and the UK. In the US, you tend to get way better cancellation terms. You get price matching. You get all this stuff that we don't get. Yeah. But yes, please just click the US button and it will come through to me and Dan. Dan is my US guy. 350 likes now. Amazing. Thank you very much. Have you ever been scammed in a cruise port? I've not been scammed. I've seen scams happen and I know what they are sometimes. But not particularly in cruise ports, more just in the city and stuff. We are almost at the end of this live stream. I will mention my discount one more time because I still get comments after these live streams that say, what is this discount? But it is return to ship, and it is if found, please return to the nearest cruise ship. This is backwards for me. I believe it is right for you. So if I'm struggling to read, that's just why. But it's a nice design, I think. I think it shows where I would rather be if I'm found walking in the shops or walking somewhere else. And there's kids ones, toddlers ones, there's bags, there's mugs. You can get one like this. This one says, I'm here with Captain Hudson. Cute, right? So all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that's 24 hours only. So I'm just saying it. So if you're watching this, do it. If you're watching this in the future, I'm sorry, but there's probably another live coming up, probably. Britishism, if the trains are working. True. I do love the trains. You know, I've always commuted to work before I worked for myself. I get on the train quite regularly. It is brilliant. But yeah, sometimes they're not always working. Adam says, haven't seen a super chat on this recently. Did I accidentally toggle it off? No, I turned it off. It just seemed a bit weird. I prefer everyone here to have an equal chance of getting their question answered. And if you do want a guaranteed, answer from me in more depth, we do a podcast every week for Patreons and channel members, and I would far prefer you to join my Patreon. I just saw a comment that says, your microphone is giving Henry Hoover vibes. I would much prefer you to join my Patreon rather than do a super chat here. And I started getting some weird super chats too that would want me to read things that were very rude. And yeah, I would just prefer to be in charge of which questions I answer live on the internet, because these are here forever. I've been doing these live streams regularly since 2020, but we've done them for years before that, and they're all here. Sometimes I do get comments. It'll be on a live stream in 2019, and it will say, Emma, you said you didn't like the MSC food. And I'm like, well, this was 2019. That was true at the time. I can't do more than say what is true at the time. Do you like plane travel? No, planes are just a way to get somewhere. I find it stressful. It makes me feel a bit sick. Yeah, no, not really. I do live streams every week. Yeah, normally we do them on Friday. If I'm somewhere where we don't have great internet or something, sometimes I'll move them. But we try to do that. We try and do them every single week. Next week, I'm not going to be here on Friday, so I'm going to plan to do it on Saturday. I'll try and keep it at the same time. I think this is a good time because I'm still awake in the UK, but also the US is awake. Australia sometimes, amazingly, is already awake again, or very, very early in the morning. But I think this is the best that we can do. Have you considered becoming a crew member on board? I get seasick. I've always had an office job, so I've been absolutely spoiled. I've never physically, a lot of the jobs, I think I would really struggle with them. I don't really have any skills that would be useful, I don't think, and I wouldn't want to. I like my home. I like my toast. I like my bath. I like my cat. I like living in England. So yeah, it wouldn't suit me. But a massive respect. I mean, so much respect for everyone who works on cruise ships. That just superhuman. John says Patreon podcast is a great benefit. All questions answered. Yeah, and I can do some research, which is good compared to these live streams. Yes. Cruise Boys are doing Ada or Aida, however you want to say it, next week, which will be amazing because I'm always asked. They're a German cruise, and I'm always asked about it, and I can't wait to find out what it's like. Oh my goodness, you're a cruise director. No way in the world. I can't do public speaking. I would stress myself out so much. The hours that they work as well. I love sleeping. It would just not work. Not work at all. Tracy says best cruise ship for swimming lap to the pool. Most cruise ship pools are pretty small. And bloop, 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 which is fine. Some cruise ships are bigger than others, I was going to say MSC has a big pool, but it doesn't because it stairs in the middle and then there's two pools. But MSC have quite a lot of pools, actually. Princess have a lot of pools. Virgin Voyages have the smallest pools. I would definitely avoid those because you could do laps in like 4 steps. Bloop, 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 bloop. Thank you very much for gifting a Emma Cruises membership. Apparently I can do this as well, but I don't know how. So you're not going to get any gifted, I'm afraid, right now. I use a third party, so I'm not sure if I can do it. Maybe I'd have to go on my phone and gift it, but I don't know. Yeah, Rich says can't do public speaking. No way. If I could see, when you do a Zoom call and you can see everyone else. If there were 10 of you here, I would struggle with this, but I can't see you, so it's fine. Made it work, found the button. Amazing. That is very cool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, public speaking sucks. It's stressful. Jamie says, what do you think about the Royal Caribbean Coke cups? I love them. I miss them so much on every other cruise line. I'm definitely a soda package kind of person. And just being able to get it and take it to my room, Absolutely brilliant. They did have some self-service machines on MSC World Europa, but the crew had to do them. So I don't really see how that is self-service, and there's no cups. Yeah. Rich says Emma's mum got the membership. Oh, okay. Interesting. I think it's just random. I don't think my mum um I don't know. Don't know. Do you want that, Mum? But hey, thank you so much, everybody. It is almost the end of this live stream. Actually, it is already the end. Time does fly. Yeah, Cruz would say Josh still uses his cup. Yeah, of course, they're good cups. Mum says, "Can we reallocate?" I don't think so, Mum. You're just gonna have to see. You can be my inside person and tell me what it's like on the YouTube side, because I can't be a member of myself. So we can use that for research. So thank you very much. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me for this live stream. I won't be here at the same time next week. I think we're going to do it on Saturday because I will be somewhere Christmassy, which will be very cool. And I'll let you know more when I can. Thank you so much, everybody. This has been a lot of fun. I will see you soon.